Boom. Hey internets, I had a good question from Carlton. He actually DM'd me on my Instagram, and you guys can DM me too, at Jon Phenom. And very introspective question from Carlton. He asked, what do I think the future of apparel is? And so I'm going to post date this 2018, as you see on the title. And he said, do you think it can only be used as a gateway for artists with music? With entrepreneurs such as 50 Cent, who eventually invested in Vitamin Water but had G-Unit clothing? Or do you still think it's hopeful to become a household name, such as Supreme, Diamond, Thrasher, and Ralph Lauren? I like that you put Thrasher in there. That's interesting. I like that you put Supreme and Diamond. Interesting choices as examples. So, that's a loaded question. There's a lot there. So, fortunately, my perception on things in terms of the industry is always out there. I'm always on, blogs. I'm on everything from Hypebeast to like Bobby Hundreds Instagram posts, and everything he posts at thehundreds.com, and different people who I think are definitely representative of the industry or the movement in which we're going, and then all the way to regular news on the Washington Post. In terms of the movement of the industry, I feel responsible for all of you that are watching and the 18,000 or so subscribers that I have around the time that this is post dating, and the people that view the videos. I definitely feel not a burden. I feel the importance of trying to figure out where the industry is going. And as an entrepreneur and a professional in fashion, I want to know what's going on so I can kind of do my Gary Vaynerchuk thing and try to get ahead of the trend before it happens, so I could be on that end of monetizing before something hits mainstream. And so I'm hoping to do that. Another thing, as you guys know, if you're subscribed to the channel, I really want to support some of the brands that are going to be the household brands, that could be the household brands moving forward, in this day and age. So I'm hoping that all of my experience can then be passed on and help at least 4 brands or so that at some point were really kind of invested into this channel and soaking up the knowledge. So having said that, I think right now, as this is post-dating and we're hitting to the summer of 2018, everything is a mess in terms of being able to read what it's been like in the past, right? Everything is still getting interrupted. And I've said this before, it's still not close to getting fully interrupted. I'm lucky at this point as a YouTuber, the way you guys are discovering me, because anything from like the progression of DTG and POD, or product on demand development, are emailing me, and I'm able to garner those relationships of people who are kind of on the forefront of that technology, which is growing really quickly. All the way to being a part of startup apps, so real technology apps. I'm really thrilled to be on the board of some of these apps, which I really do feel have a chance to change fashion. So I'm lucky to get that vantage point. But still, being a part of those apps or things in technology really makes me actually kind of think of how it's going to affect retail now. So let me give you guys some brass tacks. Brick and mortar feels really dead to me. Hundreds did open up a new shop, and I'm talking about men's streetwear for that particular niche. But wider in fashion, malls are dead. Brands that have been around for decades in the mall scenario are faltering really bad. They're running in and out of CEOs very quickly. So losing millions a year is literally like watching your money go down in a path. And if you have a board of directors and you have a stock ticker and all of that things, you have a lot of responsibility, and those people are trying to come up with the answers as well. I think generally speaking, that shopping pattern for youth does not exist, because the way kids are shopping now is on their phone. And some of you guys know I talk about this. I teach in a high school classroom as well. The kids are finding not only shopping, entertainment, connection, it's all through their phone. They basically own a computer, obviously, in the palm of their hands. So as it relates to fashion, it changes everything. The way they're getting influenced is completely different. So Carlton, part of your question is, you focused on music artists, but generally speaking, I think influencers, and some people hate that word. To me, the word is what it is. Just the way I say streetwear, some people debate what streetwear is, because I'll kind of mix that in with skate and surf, and I call it ready-to-wear men's or ready-to-wear men's contemporary. But getting apples to apples, I think influencers, or whatever you want to call them, are definitely going to have a big stake into what their audience wears. At this moment in time, I'm not a huge fan of Logan Paul and his brother in terms of their antics. In terms of building their channels, I think they've done some really good moves. But for Logan Paul launching Maverick, for example, which is his brand, he was able to do really big numbers that brands that would consult with me on this channel would dive for those numbers. But he has, what is it? You tell me below, you comment below what his subscribership is at, but I think it's somewhere around 10 million or north of 10 million. But you have that kind of audience, and then passionately drop videos and content with your apparel line, and he's always talking about buying merch, so he's moving that product, he's selling that product. Just a case study in terms of the way, those are dollars that he's making, but if you guys think about it as the brands you are, it's also taking audience and money away from what they would spend on maybe your brand, or go shopping at Active or Tilly's, or it doesn't matter, wherever they're going to shop, because they're going to shop online, so they don't have to leave their house. So in that case, it's digital marketing that might make the difference, and also influencers are creating their space, and they can sell direct to their customers. As I've been more involved with YouTube, and I'm at the YouTube space in LA twice a month, I'm collabing with a lot of YouTubers, so I'm seeing directly how they interact with their audiences and how strong that pull is, and it's very strong. It's very strong, and it's easy for me as a consultant and designer, because marketing and sales is already taken care of. Okay, so Carlton, at that point, there is something there with influencers, whether it be music or traditional like actors or something like that. But more so, I think people in social media that are influencers, that YouTube every day, that Instagram every day, they have a direct pull with people that love their content. They have a bigger claim to be able to drop a brand. And now it's not necessarily based on the brand. With my earlier case study, you're probably not buying Maverick because of the name Maverick. You're buying it because it's Maverick by Logan Paul. So it's really based on the influencer in that case study. So that's going to take a lot of money away as we move forward. There's more and more people starting their personalities online and getting direct to the people who would buy. So that's going to take audience away. I think shopping malls are going to be changed in a lot of ways. I recently invested in my first food venture, which was in kind of one of these food malls. So think of the food court, really modern, like Grand Central here in downtown LA, sort of like that model. That model is now being repeated in a lot of other cities in the US without the mall. So there's no shopping, it's just there for food. So it's they're dropping the retail is what I'm saying. And so interesting to think of what a shopping mall is going to be in the future. I wonder what all the people that own that real estate are going to do, because people aren't buying in malls the way you used to, and I think that's going to continue to decline. So I think building a brand with a name is still possible. Is it possible to be a household name like Supreme, like Diamond? I think it's becoming less likely, but the way apparel and fashion was before that, it was already hard to get Bape status, Supreme status, and even Diamond status. It was already becoming difficult. But the way as we known it in the past, for example, when I would talk about retail in some of my older videos, I'm telling you guys some of that is outdated now because the retail is not there. When I was the director at Boulevard, I was watching the retail falter shop by shop by shop. So we're talking about a list of thousands and thousands of retailers just shrink down month after month after month after month. So retail is dead. Online is where it's at. Of course, it's easy for me to say that, but trying to give you guys a 3D picture of what that looks like. Influencers are going to be in the game, definitely taking some of that money from brands because now they are brands themselves. And so is it still possible? I do think it's still possible, but the way to actually achieve that is going to be different, and I don't know the exact answer to it. You definitely have to have your digital marketing on point because that's the quickest route to the customer, and you don't need to rely on brick and mortar. Lot there to dissect. Hope that helps. Carlton, great question. I hope you guys got value from it. You want to keep the you want to keep the conversation going, please drop it down below. Follow me on social media when you get a chance. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.